Aloha! It is I, the Great Clement, and oh no, we're gonna do Sonic Labyrinth. Oh god, one of the worst Sonic games ever made. Oh god, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, this game's not even that bad. Sonic Labyrinth's got a big reputation for being like one of the worst Sonic games ever made, and I'll admit the concept of the game doesn't suit Sonic at all, but like if you just forget the fact that this is a Sonic game, like let's say we replace the mascot with, I don't know, a talking mouse or something. This game would be, you know, not great, not amazing, no one would care about this game, but it certainly wouldn't get the hate it certainly has. And I never really got why Sonic Labyrinth is such a hated game. It's so short, it's so easy. I don't know why, like, yeah, it's a lame game, but it's not like, holy shit, this is like one of the worst Sonic games ever made. No fucking way. Well, here's the gameplay, folks. Sonic Labyrinth has you on a weird angled kind of view of Sonic as he spin dashes through the area. You have to find 3 keys in each level in order to get to the exit room and leave. And when you get to the exit room, you beat the level, and that's it. There are 16 levels in the whole game, and 4 of those are boss fights, so there's really only 12 actual levels, you know. 12 Labyrinth levels, and none of them are really complicated to get through. Most of them are pretty short, pretty simple to get through. I don't know anyone who's gotten stumped by Sonic Labyrinth. I've never been stumped by Sonic Labyrinth. The areas are too small to be stumped. The keys are pretty basic to find. You know, it's not an amazing game, but it's hardly the shitty one that a lot of people seem to think it is. Hell, I'm gonna finish so many levels in this one part. This LP is gonna be a 2-parter, folks. This game's not even huge. When you're not spin dashing, Sonic is incredibly slow and he only walks everywhere, and there's actually a reason for this. They've given a plot reason. I have in front of me right now the US instruction manual for Sonic Labyrinth, folks. And I'm gonna use I didn't write any of this dialogue at all. I'm just going to tell you the story word for word as it's shown in the US manual so that you can understand what the plot's all about. Alone in his egg-shaped headquarters, the diabolical Dr. Robotnik paced and pondered. There has to be a way to defeat that pesky Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter what I try, he always manages to outrun my traps. Wait a minute. He outruns my traps. He uses his fantastic speed to defeat my minions. What if I take his speed away? Dr. Robotnik created a pair of harmless-looking boots that would slow the running speed of any creature that wears them. Then Dr. Robotnik commanded one of his robots to sneak into Sonic's home and swap his normal sneakers with the boots. First off, I didn't even know Sonic had a house, because we've never seen it in any video game, or maybe the cartoons, but I've never seen Sonic actually in a house anywhere. But, more importantly, if a robot could sneak into Sonic's house and put boots on him, why the hell wouldn't they just kill him right there in his bedroom and off him? Eggman! You can off Sonic when he's sleeping or he's on the shitter or something. Why aren't you taking advantage of this situation? That's so stupid. But, I'll continue and read the rest of the story. The next morning, Sonic put the boots on without noticing anything was different, until he tried to dash out the door. It was as if his feet were stuck to the ground. He could barely run. He tried to pull the boots off, but no matter how hard he struggled, they wouldn't come off. Then, through the window, he heard Dr. Robotnik's evil laughter. How do you like my new invention, Sonic? The only thing that can deactivate those boots is Chaos Emerald power, and the Chaos Emeralds are mine! The only way to get them is to find your way through my super labyrinth, and you can't stay there long. Without your famous speed, there's no way you can catch me! Sonic thought quickly. Those boots keep my feet from moving fast, but they won't slow down my super spin dash. Alright, Robotnik, I'm coming after you. And that is the plot as told in the, you know, instruction manual. I don't want to, ignore the gameplay here, folks. It's 2 parts long. I'm going to say everything I need to say, but every 4th level, as I mentioned earlier, is a boss fight. Every boss fight seems to start the same, where they just send minions at you that disappear, and you don't actually have to kill them. And then the main guy comes. And I think, actually, the first boss is the hardest boss in the game, because if he hits you, all of your rings go away, and then you have no rings. And I've never had a run where, when I got hit, my rings would come back. It seems like you always get hit once, and then the rings are gone for good. So you essentially have a 2-hit limit for the boss fight. You just have to keep spin dashing into the guy, and as long as you're spin dashing, you can't get hurt. So I recommend winding up for a 4-star spin dash so that you're bouncing all over the place for most of the boss fight. Just keep spin dashing into the robot. You should do fine for the boss fight. I think it's the hardest boss fight in the game, and it's the first one, go figure, which is a little bit weird and surprising, but you know. Anyway, that was the plot. Yeah, Eggman's built a super labyrinth for Sonic to go through. And he's got all the Chaos Emeralds, and only the Chaos Emeralds can take those shoes off, somehow. I don't know how he designed it that way. But, if he has the Chaos Emeralds, why doesn't he use them to conquer the world? Why is he dicking around with Sonic in this labyrinth, instead of using it to pilot some kind of Death Egg 2 or something? I don't know. The plot makes no sense, folks, but again, it's a video game, and this is a Game Gear game where they wanted to take Sonic in a new direction. I mean, Labyrinth is not a platformer, it's more of a weird, angled puzzle game. I mean, it's not really a puzzle game so much, it's, you just have to find all the 3 keys, head for the exit, and then booyah. Some levels, which we're going to be going into next level, so I guess I'll get into that, have doors that take you to certain different places of the map. And yet, when you go back through that door, it'll take you to a different spot from where you came from. The doors can be really annoying like that, and I can see why people might get pissed off with those doors. But they're not really game-breakingly bad. And the controls, I don't think, are terrible. The physics aren't terrible. I don't find the game particularly challenging. Sonic can't die unless he's in a boss fight. In the actual regular levels, there are no rings in the levels, and all you have is a timer. You have a minute and 15 to beat this level. You kill a robot, the timer goes up. You collect a key, the timer goes up. And again, I don't find the time limit too bad. I never found myself, oh my god! Like, I never found myself struggling, going, oh fuck, I don't have any time! You know, you have plenty of time to find these keys, and with all the robots and item boxes you can find, item boxes as well can increase your time limit depending on which power-up you pick up. So I never really found an issue playing Labyrinth. It's not hard, in my opinion, and it's certainly not annoying to play. Like, yeah, it's not the kind of game you would expect Sonic to be in, but if you just keep that train of thought out of mind, folks, that this is not a Sonic-type game, you know? Don't go into this game thinking you're going to get a great Sonic adventure. Go into it thinking you're going in for a nice Game Gear puzzle game that, you know, will be fun to play. Sonic walks slow, yes, but you're spin dashing most of the time, I find. I don't find it annoying to spin dash everywhere. When you spin dash everywhere, you generally never get hurt by enemies, and you just bounce off them or something, unless you're running into spikes and stuff, but even then, it takes off like maybe 10-20 seconds of your time, and that's it. The earlier level we were in had lava, and the lava doesn't actually kill Sonic, it just takes away time. Like, the more you're in the lava, the faster the timer at the top goes, you know? Again, you only die when the timer goes to 0. It's a puzzle game, in my opinion. Sonic Labyrinth is a bit more of a puzzle game than it is a serious platformer. It's gotten such a bad reputation on the internet, and I don't know why. I remember playing Labyrinth for the first time 10, 12 years ago, and I didn't think it was great. Like, I'm not saying this is the best Sonic game on the Game Gear or anything, but I'm saying it's still decent. By the way, if you want the good ending, that cannon I just jumped out of, you have to hold the jump button and hold the right direction so you can find that switch. That switch will open a bonus stage up, and you can use the bonus stage to collect more lives through rings. This is the only bonus stage in the game, I kid you not. And I don't know why there's only one. But by going into that bonus stage, you ensure that you've played all zones, and by playing all zones, you get the best ending. And the best ending literally is nothing but a line change, so don't worry, you're not missing anything if you've never seen this before. But, yeah, the bonus stage is just a great place to rack up lives. And again, I don't find it easy to die in this game, so I don't know. I never found Sonic Labyrinth a real pain in the ass. I know a lot of people come up to me and they're like, I can't believe you're doing Sonic Labyrinth, Clement. That game's fucking awful. That game's terrible. And I'm just like, in what way? Like, yeah, it's not a great Sonic game, but how is it like an awful game that I'm going to have to endure? Knuckles Chaotix was 7 parts long, and I knew what I was doing. That game was easy as fuck. I got through each zone in like 2 minutes. Less than that, hell. Sonic Labyrinth, I'm blowing through this game, and this playthrough is going to be 2 parts long. Because, you know, it's not a long game. There's only 16 levels in the game, and 4 of them are boss fights. We're at our second boss fight right now, Labyrinth of the Seas, 2-4. Every boss fight proceeding, like every boss fight coming up, you have a big line of rings that you can roll down. And there are things that can hit you in some of the labyrinths, but it doesn't matter. I find like there's always a good stretch of rings before you reach the boss, so you'll always have rings for the boss. And, yeah. The second boss, the Labyrinth of the Sea boss, is basically a giant crab robot that shoots mini crabs at you right from the get-go, and of course you don't need to kill these mini crabs, but it does start off heading towards you when the boss fight begins, so you might want to spin dash immediately when the boss fight begins. Anyway, Clam here, Clam Boy, he opens his pop-up to shoot a thing down the pathway, and when that pops up, you just spin dash into him and you can damage him. Now, he doesn't always shoot towards where you're going, or where you are, so it's not really much of an issue in that department either. I go to the side, I go up there, and when he opens up, I spin dash into him. Not really a complicated boss fight. Much easier than the first boss. And, yeah. Again, I never found the spin dashing awkward to do. I don't know why this game gets such a bad rep. I mean, it's not great, I know, but, you know. Either way. I just think a game this short and this easy, I don't see what the hatred for it was. Like, yeah, it's not a Sonic game, but, like, I don't know of any crazy glitches that make the game awful to play. I don't know of any... Like, the soundtrack's pretty good. I kind of like the soundtrack. It's not amazing, but it does the job. It's good video game soundtrack fun. It doesn't... I mean, the plot's kind of stupid, maybe. Eggman, you're in his house. Why don't you just off him? Why don't you just kill Sonic? And why do you have the Chaos Emeralds and you're not using them to do evil? You know, but, I guess I should explain some of these levels now, because we're starting to get into the more complicated levels, even though I still think this game's pretty fucking easy. Certain platforms in this game will actually destroy themselves the minute you step on them, and then you have to get off in the nick of time. And you don't want to fall in the pit, because if you fall in the pit, that is actually one other way to die, aside from like the time limit going out. If you fall in a pit, you're going to fall into lava, and then that's it. You're done. You have to retry the level. But as I was saying, there are platforms that take you to certain areas, and some of them explode on you. Like the one I'm going to right now doesn't explode. It takes me to where I want to go. But there are platforms that only go one certain way. Actually, before I go any further, folks, I have to warn you right now. I don't know if YouTube's going to make the flickering less frequent and less seizure-tastic, but this power-up, when you get speed shoes, there's seizure vision. Look away now if you want. Again, I don't know if YouTube is screwy like that and is going to make the seizure vision a lot more bearable. So I'll tell you when the seizure vision's gone, because you can hear my voice, obviously. But, yeah, there are power-ups in Sonic Labyrinth, and it's gone. It's gone. The seizure vision is gone, by the way. But, there are power-ups in Sonic Labyrinth, and they all come in one specific spot. And they go from like color to color to color to color, and depending on when you pick up the power-up, like which color it is, you'll get certain different effects. The red one gives you invincibility or super speed, whichever which, and the game just goes into seizure vision. I don't know why they programmed it like that. I can't imagine any epileptic kids would like that, but you know. See you in the final part, part 2, folks. Toodles.